And then we've got the last one, number 15, and this is fence and deck maintenance. And you know, I mean, especially in the spring and summertime, if you trim your bushes, your deck looks bigger. You were going to say that, weren't you?
I was going to say that. You stole it.
You could piss right off.
I was waiting for you to get through it, so I was going to be like, also, remember to trim your bush.
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast with Midge and yours truly, JJ. This is the show where we talk about real estate news, trending news, ridiculous news, and we get into our weekly shenanigans. You can like and follow us on all of our social platforms at Midge and JJ. You can also follow us on YouTube. Like and subscribe there, as well as Spotify. We're on Spotify now too. So 4 episodes up there. This will be number 5. Hope to see you listen in. Hi, Midge.
Hi, JJ. Hi, JJ. Hi, JJ.
How are you?
I'm all right. How are you, love?
I'm good. I forgot to mention that this show is brought to you by absolutely no one. We don't have a sponsor.
We cannot be bought.
We'd like to be bought.
Yeah, we would actually, because we're broke.
Yeah.
Please, someone sponsor us.
Yeah. So today maybe we'll just start with headlines first, and then we'll get into our topic of the day. We're going to look at seasonal maintenance checklist. But first, we're going to do some headline news here. I won't refer to it as fish wrap this week because that confused you last week. So no fish wrap, just headlines, the buzz, rumblings.
The fish wrap.
The fish wrap. Yeah. So
and just to clarify, it didn't confuse me. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know what you were referring to.
Fair enough.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start with some real estate news. Recently, CMHC and the Ontario government, Canadian government, added some amendments to the foreign buyer ban, which allows foreign buyers to come back into the market based on ownership percentage. There was things that were stopping building of apartments and condos because it could only be, I think, 4% ownership, and now they've raised it to 10% ownership. They've also, let me read what we've got here. The amendment includes increasing the corporate foreign control threshold, providing an exception for developments and repealing legislation to not apply to vacant land or work permit holders. So basically, vacant land fell under this foreign buyers ban. So companies that had partial foreign ownership couldn't buy the land and develop, and anything that was being developed already, condos that had more than 4% ownership was stopped. They stopped building. So we needed to provide homes for people and housing, and here we are stopping it. The other one is if someone is living here and they've been here for, I think it's like 187 days or something like that. I have to bring up the article here. 187 days, I think it is, that they can now buy a house here because they're basically a permanent resident. And what they were trying to deter was foreign buyers just buying houses and then not living here at all, just to rent them out and own property.
Right. So taking up the inventory. So this ban, when they first brought this ban in, I think it was a 2-year ban for foreign investors and foreign buyers. But as usual, like the government, they bring these rules and regulations in and it all comes blustering in. They really don't sit and think, okay, what's the repercussions of this? Because now the repercussions of this, developers have had to sit back if they've got any kind of foreign investment, sit back and not build. But meanwhile, the immigration, like I read an article that immigration in 2022, over 1 million new people came to Canada. And that includes, green card holders, so permanent residents, but also permitted workers and citizens. And so it encompasses all of them, and foreign students and everything, and over 1 million. So these poor folks, I don't mean poor as in monetary poor, but these poor folks are coming over because they sold the dream. They think, the land of milk and honey. And then they get here and there's absolutely nowhere for them to live.
Yeah.
Other than a crappy basement, Unbelievable. So now the government's got to have a look at it again because, of course, let's get this thing out first and then look at the consequences that it creates. And now they got to backtrack. Just
yeah. So I was wrong. There's 183 days of validity remaining on their work permit. So anybody who's here on a work permit who is trying to get status in Canada, now they're able to buy a property again to live in.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But I think more to the point of these amendments that they put through is the development and the building of new homes.
Yeah, there was a halt on it for the last, I don't know. They said they were going to make a change back in February. I think it was. We mentioned it on one of our earlier podcasts about some changes coming to it. It now has changed. They have done these amendments to make these changes to allow companies and builders to start building again.
And they'll be bringing it out like, hey, look, we're doing you a favor here. We're doing you a big favor. Where meanwhile, no, you completely fucked up.
Yeah, right? and I think they finally realized that they were
they boo-booed.
Yeah, halting work and halting the ability to have more homes for all these people who can't find homes or can't buy homes, can't even get condos, whatever. So
then they wonder why there's a supply problem, right?
Yeah, lots of construction stopped. You'd think they'd want it to keep going because they're making money off of all of these new
all the red tape,
HST new HST kind of rules that are attached to these.
Yeah. Well, not only that, but the new tax kicks in now with the oh gosh, what is it? We actually have to fill the form in for it, but where you're taxed on the vacancy rate of your units. So
that's right.
What is that called? Yeah.
Vacancy tax is what it is.
Yeah, the vacancy tax. So, that should stop a lot of. So instead of like banning everybody, like, okay, you've got this tax now that's implemented. Just have, fill these forms in. That's how you track, if they can track through this. I don't know. This is such a new system that's come out as well. So we'll see how that turns out. But again, there's a lot of confusion with that
if
as
you
well that
missed
they just brought out.
That, what was it, end of February deadline for filling out the vacancy tax. I think there's a website that you can go on to now in April. Beginning of April anyways.
Yeah, it's April.
If you missed it, to fill it out. So if you got one of those letters and you missed out on the deadline at the end of February, I believe it was, make sure you go and look that up and fill it out so you don't get the extra tax.
Yeah, because if you
actually live there.
Right. So the form is either applicable to you or it's not. Right.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker. If it is applicable to you, then that just means that you have to fill in the form, right? And not pay anything, because so it's just about filling the form. If you don't, now you may have to pay them the tax on if your units are not occupied. But some people have to fill the form in, some people do not. And if you don't fill the form in and it does apply to you, it's a $5,000 fine per person per unit. Yeah. Well, the reason why I brought that up is because that should cull like properties that are sitting out there that are vacant, right? Which is the whole problem. So that new tax that's been introduced, whether it be the vacant tax in Toronto or whether it be the underused housing tax, that should cull the problem that they brought in the foreign investor ban for,
Yeah.
right?
What percentage of Toronto
For
has
what?
vacant homes? How many vacant homes are in Toronto? Wow. In 2021, there was 131,732 vacant residences in
Really?
Toronto.
That's a huge number. That's huge.
That's 2021. I don't see any like recent numbers, but I can't imagine that's changed a whole lot from 2021 to 2023.
That's a lot. I mean, hopefully that gap's closed a little bit now. We're in 2023.
This may have changed though, because 2021 was COVID times and everybody was bailing on Toronto to head like out somewhere remote, right? So
Yeah,
they could
yeah.
have, that could be part of the issue there. I don't know what it is as of 2023. Let's
But the
look it up.
thing is, the rental market was still on fire, even back then. So that is a huge vacancy.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
Anyways, we'll move on from that, I guess.
I think that's best.
Yeah. Speaking of foreign companies, there's this TikTok ban that's all over the news in the US. It's a bill S686, which they're labeling the TikTok ban. It's not really the TikTok ban.
No.
It's just kind of an extension of what I believe is the extension of the Patriot Act, which is limiting basically anybody who's in a federal position, politics, something like that, to be able to use TikTok or have TikTok on their phone because they believe it's got spyware, Chinese spyware that's stealing information from their phones, their kids' phones, everything like that. So they're trying to push this bill along that gives them a lot of scary powers, the U.S. government, which is concerning.
Yeah. So I've seen some of this over the week and like listening to the both sides of the I'm on Twitter
Argument?
a lot, and
both sides of the argument.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter a lot, so I'm a voyeur. I don't post anything. I just voy because I'm creepy like that. But yeah, so I hear the screams and shouts from both sides. My only concern is that the governments are good at bringing out these acts, that are all wrapped very nicely, shiny wrapping paper. But then when you pull that wrapping paper off, it's like a big pile of steamy dog shit inside. So it just makes me wonder, okay, what's this new wrapping disguising, Patriot Act, that when that came in post 9/11, that opened the doors for a lot of surveillance, a lot of Big Brother. They could just beam in and, if you farted, they knew about it. Right.
Everybody was rah about it though, because they were worried about,
well, I know,
terrorist attacks and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, they were open to it. Now, when this freedom of speech thing is louder than ever, people don't want their TikTok being taken away because it's one of the platforms where it isn't regulated by the US government, where, like, as we all know, you go on Facebook or Instagram, even like YouTube in some sorts. Maybe I shouldn't say that because we're on YouTube, but it's on most of the social media platforms that limits you to what you can say. Then you get shadow banned and you can't voice your opinion. TikTok, for the most part, has everybody's opinion, every race, color, left and right wing, whatever, everybody's kind of opinion is on there, and you have the right to kind of say it for, the freedom of speech thing.
So, but I always thought with what they were screaming and shouting about with TikTok, with the original argument, and I get this, if this is the true argument, was that they were afraid of national security because Chinese spyware that is within the app and the algorithms. And that was the main concern. And if that's the main concern, I get it. I 100% get it. But again, where my fears lay is like what happened with Twitter through the whole COVID thing, through election cycles. A lot of people that had a different opinion from the narrative and agenda that's been thrown out there by the propaganda. If you were against that, you were shut down, you were banned, you were called fringe, you were a nut bar, and if you took ivermectin, then you're taking horse paste. So a lot of that was going on. With this act, that is what really scares me of how much more can they do and how much more will they do in the guise of the TikTok ban.
Yeah, it's not passed yet, so it's just kind of
You think
going
it
through
will
the
pass?
rounds. But
You think it will pass?
well, here's the thing: like everybody came together, Democrats, Republican, everybody was fighting one thing on this. And what I've read a few times now is that people think it's not that it was a security issue, is that it was a security breach. They found some sort of hole and they needed to plug that hole quickly before it became a serious problem. Like maybe Chinese government or whoever had the ability to get in. And Mr. Chu, when he was on the stand, he answered a lot of these questions from some of these, people that are asking him questions were just absolute morons.
Well, they're dinosaurs. They're all dinosaurs. They don't even know how social media works. How can they question?
I know, like the one guy was asking, he was asking, can TikTok access my home Wi-Fi network? And, the guy's like looking around, this Mr. Xiao Chu, I think his name is looking around like, is anybody else hearing this? Like, yes, TikTok accesses the Wi-Fi network. How are you supposed to get on the app? How do you get on Facebook? How do you get on Instagram? How do you search Google without accessing the Wi-Fi network in your home?
And so how scary do you think that is when you've got the people questioning this guy from TikTok, the representative from TikTok, and you've got a bunch of dinosaurs up there? How confident are you in, because I know I'm not, in these people asking even the right questions? Not only that, but understanding the answers.
Yeah, I don't think they understood the answers. I think it was like talking to a bunch of 5-year-olds.
What kind of confidence level does that leave the people?
It doesn't.
It doesn't leave me with a warm and fuzzy feeling. I can fucking tell you that.
If you just take a peruse through TikTok, you'll see all the people who are against this. And, there's some misconceptions out there. There's the VPN limitations there where people are getting afraid that if they use a VPN that they're going to get 20 years in prison or up to 20 years in prison and up to, what is it, a $2 million fine? Or
I think it was $1 million, up to $1 million.
Starts at 250,000.
Yeah.
Well, in reality, what it is using a VPN to access one of these foreign owned entities. So
once it's banned.
Yeah.
Once it's been banned.
Yeah. If TikTok becomes banned and you're using a VPN and logging in from, say, Canada or Mexico or something like that, and you were to get caught, then there is the possibility of being fined. Are they going to go after the little guy?
No.
I don't know. Like the little guy probably doesn't have $2 million or $250,000 even. So
well, I read it's companies that have over more than 100 people.
Yeah.
I read that.
There's a lot of companies that need to use a VPN for their business. Are they accessing foreign owned things? Probably not, but maybe some of them are. But the point is you could still use the VPN to do your normal daily activities. It's just if they say you're not allowed to go on this, platform anymore, and this is banned, and then you use a VPN to access it because you can't access it from the States, then there's the potential of the fine.
It kills me how they don't go this hard after fucking child porn sites that are all up. You know what I mean? Like, it kills me that they don't go that hard after that shit.
Well, these are things that I don't want to get into the deep, seedy world of things, but you got to wonder if
The
some
dark
of these.
web and all that. You're not telling me that they can't, control that through these, the browser companies, your Googles, your Apples. You're not telling me that can't be shut
Well,
down.
this is where those incredible hackers come in and can do and change anything and everything, so.
I don't know. It worries me. And, it worries me that it just opens the door for more big government, more eye watching, more, shutdowns of, opposite, opposite thoughts and ideas and voices. And, because like I said, it's always gift wrapped so nice that it's for the people.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of underlying stuff in it, I would imagine.
Yeah. There's a lot of hidden stuff in there, but it's just an extension of what the Patriot Act was. Yeah. So maybe if we go to our dummy Muppet of the week, my dummy of the week is that stupid
Senate.
Yeah, the Senate, that stupid congressman who was asking questions like, does TikTok access your pupil dilation, and can it tell your age from your eyes and all? He was asking like some of the dumbest questions ever, and Mr. Chu is kind of looking around like, wait, what is this guy asking me? Like, I know, like, am I having trouble translating this? I don't know what the hell this guy's saying here.
It's not good. It's not. It really isn't good. It just doesn't give you any level of confidence. I mean, so I guess if the guy was up there speaking about a pager or a filofax, they'd feel completely comfortable. But it's like, if you're going to be questioning someone on that, at least get to know the product that you're questioning about.
The filofax.
The filofax.
What movie is that from?
Yeah. They'd know all about that, wouldn't they?
What's the movie that he gets the guy's filofax? It's Jim Belushi goes to the baseball game. He breaks out of jail, and he ends up with the guy's filofax. So he starts like going to his meetings and that.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't remember. Funny movie though.
Anyways, I think at the end of the day, we don't have a say, do we?
No, we're in Canada, so it doesn't matter.
But we're up here. Why the fuck are we talking about this? We're here.
Well, it's only a matter of time before
you got it.
Canada starts
what you see happening down the southern border will creep up here.
100%. Yeah, and then it even, like, in the meantime, if it does happen, like, some of your favorite creators on TikTok, content creators, are probably going to get shut down. They've made a living. A lot of people made a living through hard times, through COVID and whatever.
Yeah, but what about the act that they just what did they just push through here, where the government has say they have control over content on all social media sites now? What was that? What bill was that?
I don't know what the bill was.
I forget. You know what?
Like,
we can talk about
related stuff.
Yeah, it was social media related. We can talk about that next week, because we've got something very similar already that they've pushed through.
Yeah. So today, apart from the news, we're going to talk about a spring checklist of things that you need to do around the house now that the ground is starting to thaw, and what's important and why. You, me, other homeowners alike, they want low maintenance. They want low cost. So today we're going to go over the most important items on the seasonal to-do checklist, and the reasons why. So first of all, we'll start with the why. Here's the why on seasonal maintenance essentials. So number one, the value. It helps you maintain and add the value to your home. If you're keeping up with your honeydew list, is that what some people call it? The honeydew checklist or whatever. Number two, improves the appearance of your home and your property. Number three, protection. Protects your house against weather and other threats. Number four, reduces long-term costs. If you're addressing the issues now, then they don't become bigger issues, and it doesn't end up costing you more in the long run. Number five, it identifies those issues, and it allows you to identify those problems before they become major repairs. And number six, it gets you like fewer surprises. Once you know what's going on, you know that you have fewer unseen issues that will arise. Oh, I missed one too. Number 7, save time. The more frequently you do it, the less time it will take each season. That's it. Yeah. So we're going to put a spring maintenance checklist in the description that you will be able to download and print off, and or just follow along on your phone, and you can check these items off your list as you get them done. But these are the 15 most important ones that we came up with, after doing, some research and knowing these things on our own and making sure we're getting these things done. You want to start it off? Because
Sure.
this first one kind of applies to something that you just recently did. And you had to do some heavy cleaning of your dryer.
I did. So, yes, being in real estate for all these years, all these little jobs, and being a homeowner, these jobs you've got. My list is this bloody long because my husband does nothing. I do it all. My list is this long. And I know, quick funny story. He even said to me today, he's looking out at the back deck because it's all bleached from the weather, and he's like, we gotta restain the deck this year. So he's planning it all out. The dogs can't walk on it. We'll have to put the dogs on the leash onto the grass. And I'm looking at him like, the fuck are you talking about? You're out playing golf. I'm doing this. So anyway, I let him ramble because he feels good about it. And I'm just there and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, you're going to be on the 8th hole while I'm slagging my tits off out there, staying in that deck. So anywho's, my list is always long, but these are super important. The reasons why JJ just went over. But here's one of the main things, and this one can be dangerous too. Clean out your dryer vents. So the dryer vent that goes from the back of your dryer, it collects the lint and it blows it out the vent. But it can get clogged up there. So each year you buy a little tool from Home Depot. It's extension rod. You take that vent off from the outside and you ram that brush in. You pull your dryer out. You ram the brush out. So you get all that vent out because that is a fire hazard. And here's another interesting thing that I actually had to get done a couple of months ago. Now I have 2 dogs. My dryer took a poop. So I called in my appliance guy. He took the bottom off the dryer, and inside all the workings of it, like where the heating element is and all the nuts and bolts, I felt such a filthy bitch. I'm pretty clean in my house, but I felt so dirty. It was jam-packed full of dog hair. Like it was like 2 sweaters. And he was pulling it out and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh my God, Lenny, don't even. Oh, I said, Lenny, I'm clean. I swear I'm clean. And he's pulling this stuff out and you could see the dog hair was all burnt and singed.
Scary.
Massive fire hazard. So if you got dogs, it's not just the dryer vent that you got to clear out. Pull the front off that dryer. If you can't access the inner workings from the front, you got to pull it out and take the back out. But get that a vacuum. Get all that dog hair out. Massive fire hazard.
So is it working like a vacuum itself where it's sucking stuff in from underneath and into the inner workings of the dryer? You know
No,
what I mean?
I honestly think when, if there's dog hair on the floor, which I don't know where it's coming from.
That's what I mean. Like if it's like, you think of the back of a hair dryer, it acts as like suction.
Right.
So like, if there's anything on the floor, lint that fell on the floor, it's going to get sucked up underneath the dryer and inside.
I don't know if the hair worked underneath it and then kind of static, like pulled it in. I don't know. All I know is it was packed full of dog hair. And I've got a Dyson. I feel 2 canisters full of dog hair, like a big Dyson, 2 canisters full of dog hair. It was packed. So you got dogs, do that as well. Let me tell you, because it petrified me. It was not good.
I'm going to take number 2 here.
Go on.
Number 2, drain your water heater. First of all, go downstairs, take a look around, make sure there's no leaks or anything from the water heater, but drain your water heater out because sediment can build up in the bottom of the tank. calcium buildup or minerals or whatever, which could essentially end up rotting your tank, and you'll end up having to replace the tank. So it's always good to drain the tank once at end of each season, drain all the water out of it and let it refill to keep some of that sediment out of the bottom of it.
See, I never done that. Never do that. But it's a good tip.
Yeah. Well, you think of places like where I am in Kitchener.
There's hard water.
The water here is so hard and the calcium buildup is so hard here that it's better to kind of clean everything out, drain it, and start over again.
Yeah.
It's just me here, so it's not a big issue with having to wait for water to fill up and have a hot shower again. But, do the drain it out, make sure that it's empty. Water heaters aren't cheap.
No, I just replaced mine.
Yeah.
In fact, I replaced 2 this year or last year. Yeah, they're not cheap. Yeah. Number 3, test the old sump pump, kids. The newer builds have the sump pumps in. We all know what it's for. It's to get rid of the water that soaks around the house, the foundation and footings. Give that a test once a year, because coming into the spring with a lot of rain, and if your house isn't
graded properly,
if it's not graded properly, you might have some water that's sitting around your foundation and your usually your foundation, not your footings. And but give that sump pump a test. All you got to do is put a bucket of water in there, make sure it clicks on, or there is a testing button on some of them. Give it a switch and make sure that it's working fully. And if not, they're pretty easy to fix. They're pretty easy to replace.
Think about all the snow we've had recently too. As that melts and kind of works its way in there, you want to make sure that sump pump is working properly.
Yeah, because you don't want to be flooded with that, nor do you want to have water sitting around the foundation of your home, because then it's just creeping in the basement.
Yeah. Number 4, check in on your AC units. I know it's not time for AC yet, but it's always good to maybe get someone out to have a look at it.
It is when you're going through menopause.
Yeah. If you're getting hot at night and you want the cool air on, I guess you can still open the window. It's still cold enough outside. But check the AC unit, make sure that it's running properly. I know a lot of people, there's kind of like a mixed kind of, advice on what you should do with that AC unit in the winter. Some people cover them, some people don't. But give it a run, give it a test. If you need someone to come in and give it a good once over, With that being said, take a walk downstairs, take a look at the furnace as well, just to make sure that your heating system is still in check. I believe we have later on in this about changing your filters on your furnace as well. But also remember to set your thermostat. Set it to your springtime thermostat as opposed to your winter thermostat.
Okay. Number 5, clean your gutters and your downspouts. You don't want crap accumulating in there. That can just lead to leaks, clogging, and some pretty expensive damage if you don't stay on top of that. Pretty simple to do. Get up there, and I usually get a water hose and just wash it all out and make sure they're all clear. But yeah, stay on top of that. That's an all year through thing, not just a springtime.
Yeah, you may have to stick your hand in there and bring a garbage bag up to remove some of those leaves that maybe won't wash down the spout, or the spout might be clogged. But definitely try and flush out the downspouts to get all that gunk out. You don't want that backing up and then all of a sudden pouring out, and then this kind of pours into the foundation of the house, which can lead to cracks in the foundation and stuff.
Especially if your sump pump's not working. So that's why you should check your sump pump as well.
Yeah. So speaking of the roof, the next thing you want to do while you're up there, have a peek at the roof. Take a look at the shingles. Most shingles, the asphalt shingles, only last about 20 years or so. People tell you 50 years. I used to roof. They're not that good. Take a look, make sure that there's, with the wind and the ice and all that over the winter, there could be some damaged shingles up there or missing shingles. Have a look around, see if you need any repairs. to happen up there. If you don't do it, everybody knows what can happen there. It can end up leaking through the roof into the house, causing damage, water damage inside the house, which is what we don't want.
Mold.
So,
Yeah.
check your vents too up there. I don't know, like sometimes they could be clogged with leaves or debris or something like that too, but get a good kind of once over of the roof. Make sure that all the shingles are intact. They don't look worn or missing, and prevent yourself from future water damage.
Nice. Number 7, examine the driveway. Whether you've got asphalt or whether you've got aggregate, poured, stamped, whatever you've got. Usually once every 2 years, you want to reseal any type of concrete driveway. But with your asphalt, every year you want to give that a reseal. The asphalt is softer, so it breaks away quicker, especially when it's exposed to the hot summers. So you normally see the guys coming around, hey, reseal your driveway, and that's great for asphalt.
They're pushing that cart.
Yeah, poor bastards. In that heat, God.
Yeah.
But it looks super fresh once they've done it. It looks really nice. And it protects it, right? It protects the breakaway from the soft asphalt. With the concrete, I do my concrete once every 2 years because I've got aggregate concrete on my driveway in the back. So I'll usually reseal that. You give it a reseal. It's a different seal from what you use from the asphalt, but I'll usually reseal that once every 2 years. Keeps it fresh, protects it, cracks, break away. But your asphalt, you're definitely going to need that once a year.
Next, recock your windows. Just cock those windows.
Cock the windows?
Yeah, cock them.
That sounds very naughty.
Cock of the walk. It could be the rooster cock. It's cold. It's cold in the winter. Some of that caulking that was around the windows may have cracked, or you'll notice it goes a little solid. It looks a little crusty. It looks worn. If you can scrape it off, recock the windows, help with the seal, keep the heat out now, and then prepare it for later on in the year when it keeps the cold air out too. It'll help with your heating and electricity bills as well. So make sure you check out the caulking on all the windows and recock them if you have to. Look for other signs of damage too, in the screen or the window or the framing around the window. Replace anything around the window that needs to be done besides the caulking as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Number 9, check your basements for signs of dampness. Now, when you walk down to your basement, whether it's finished or whether it isn't, you'll always, if there's damp in there, you'll get a fusty smell. So your nose will tell you first. And if not, you still want to give it a check around because the cracks can develop any times, especially if it's poured concrete. Poured concrete is porous. Water will always seep through, but by the time it gets through on the inside, it's usually evaporated from the heat. But if you've got a crack, anything over, I believe, is 6 millimeters. If it's over 6 millimeters, then it's something you want to look at getting filled with the silicone filling. Companies are out there that do that for you. But look around for cracks. If there's any water coming through them, then you want to keep your eye on that, monitoring, because I tell you, a flooded out basement is not a cheap fix.
No. And this is one thing that we look at very actively when we're looking at houses to buy privately. Is we go and we look, and you'll see some calcium buildup from that water seeping through the foundation. Even if it's dry down there, because it's been dry for, a week or two, you'll see that white kind of like haze that's kind of made its way around the cracks.
Almost looks like dried salt.
Yeah, it's exactly what it looks like, is dried salt. So have a look down there, even if it's been dry, the basement's dry. If you see some kind of weird buildup that appears to look like a white, salty substance, or if it is damp at all, like get that looked at right away. Check the basement. Number 10, go from the basement to the top of the house, the attic. Like I mentioned earlier, if you've got some missing shingles or whatever up there, peek your head in the attic. Make sure there's no critters in there, first of all, before you start going up there and get attacked by a raccoon or something like that. But Make sure that there's no dampness. You don't see any like dark spots in the plywood underneath the ceiling there or underneath the roof. Have a look around to see if there's no wet spots on the ground up there too. But peek your head in the attic, have a look around, make sure everything looks peachy keen up there, and look for wetness. Really, wetness, mold, critters, whatever. Have a look around. Attic is important to look at too.
Good. Number 11, change or wash your furnace filters. I was the damn worst for this. And I tell you how bad I was. My neighbors still take the piss out of me because one time I showed them a picture of one of my filters and it was absolutely black. And, but changing your filter. So now I actually had to put a notice in my phone to remind me every 3 months to change that filter.
You
I
of all
do.
people weren't changing your air filter?
So bad. And my HVAC guy, Angelo, love him. When he'd come and he'd be like, Mitch, you've got to change your filter. Like you change your filter, it elongates the life of the furnace. It works better. It lasts longer. I couldn't. Now I'm so good. I'm like every 3 months. So go down, check that furnace filter, change that booger out, and then put a note in your calendar every 3 months to come up as a reminder. That's what I do.
Yeah, with the dogs too. The dog hair and whatever gets caught up in the filter and whatever.
No, it was so bad. It's like, oh, you know what? And I think about it and I'd be like, oh, you know what? I'll do it tomorrow. Fuck it. And then tomorrow would come and I totally forget about it. Then next thing, it's 3 months down the road. I took one out one time and I tell you, you couldn't even recognize it was a filter.
Wow.
It was fucking black. It was
a little piece of information here. Changing or having a clean HVAC filter makes your system 5 to 15% more efficient. So, clean that sucker out. Clean that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's the first thing that will kill a system too.
Yeah,
because it's just sucking and sucking and sucking, and it ain't sucking anything in. And don't say anything. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the windows again. Number 12. Check the smoke alarms and carbon monoxide alarms. A lot of these things are important. This is one of the most important. Maybe in a future episode, we'll touch on like home safety and some more safety tips around the house. But this one's super important. At the beginning of every season, you should take that smoke alarm down, the carbon monoxide detector out, make sure they're clean, make sure they're working efficiently, change the batteries. I know that those batteries maybe don't need to be changed, but change them anyways. Make sure that you have a sufficient amount of smoke detectors in the house. I didn't know this until I had a buddy of mine live with me in one of my other houses. He became a firefighter, and he was mentioning that there needs to be a smoke alarm outside of every door. And a lot of houses don't have that. They don't put them in. So,
well, it's not code.
Yeah.
You only need one on each level.
Well, I guess for fire safety, you're supposed to have one out front of every door or something like that.
You're not.
Well, that's for maybe real estate, but for fire safety. I don't know. That was his complaint. He had just gone through school and he said there's supposed to be one within X amount of feet of every door, basically. So maybe if you have one on the floor and all the doors are within, 5 feet or something like that from the smoke alarm, one is sufficient. But I think you're wrong on that one. Anyways, make sure you check your smoke alarms, your carbon monoxide detectors, change the batteries if they need to. Some of them are hardwired in now, but they do have backup batteries. So change the backup battery anyways.
Yeah.
In case the power goes out. Power.
13, test your electrical panel. Toddle on downstairs in the basement. Make sure all them fuses are working correctly. And also, your breakers, fuses. Never get insurance.
What is this? Like, you're still stuck in the 70s.
Knob and tube.
Aluminum wiring. Check your aluminum wiring.
It's actually called aluminium wiring.
Aluminium, whatever.
Right. So, anywho's, whip on down there, check your panel, check all your breakers, make sure they're all working fine, non-trip easy, and they're not loose. And also whip around your house and check your outlets that are the GFCIs. They're the ones that are usually in a bathroom around water and your kitchen. Just give them a little reset. They've got a reset button in there. There's a red or a black one. Just give it a little reset. Make sure that they are working fine. I do that every year, actually.
Mine goes off all the time when I plug in the when I have my beard trimmer and my beard straightener plugged into the same outlet in the bathroom. If you turn them both on,
it's sensing a fluctuation in power, then, isn't it?
Pops, not all the time. I'd say once in a blue moon. But number 14, have a walk around the outside of the house. We talked about going in the basement and looking at the foundation, looking for cracks, looking for signs of water or calcium buildup, but inspect the foundation from the outside too. Make sure that the grading is kind of going away from the house. Make sure that your downspouts are kind of directing away from straight down at the ground, because water pooling through there is going to do some damage to some concrete or some foundation there. A lot of the times I've had inspectors go through houses and they find dampness, and then you go outside and look and there's no extension to the downspout, and all the water is just pouring right at the foundation, or the grading is incorrect. So look for cracks in the foundation, look for weird discoloration. A lot of people get confused with parging. A lot of houses have parging around the foundation, and you see cracks in the parging, which is just kind of like a over the top kind of coat. That's fine. Make sure that there's no like serious cracks in the foundation. Check around the window wells, all sorts of stuff. Make sure that's clean of debris. There's no water buildup in there too. You don't want a fish tank in your basement window full of water down there. Yeah. Inspect the foundation.
Nice. And then we've got the last one, number 15, and this is fence and deck maintenance. And especially in the spring and summertime, if you trim your bushes, your deck looks bigger. You were going to fucking say that, weren't you?
I was going to fucking say that. You stole it.
You could piss right off.
I was waiting for you to get through it, so I was going to be like, also, remember to trim your bush.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah. Fucker. I started off with that. You wanted to end. Okay. Anywho's, this is what I do this every year. Just depends what it looks like after the summer. But
trim your bush.
I will I do that once a year.
Once a season.
Usually after the winter, when it starts warming up and getting a bit like overheated, You gotta
put the old swim trunks on.
Yeah, looks like a possum. Take your knickers off at night. It's like
a mushroom cloud.
It is. It looks like there's a haze.
It's like Hiroshima. It looks like Hiroshima down there.
That's like a haze. I look
Hiroshima.
I look like
Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I look. It looks like Don King.
It's actually well maintained then.
Yeah, but it's got that grey stripe on it. That's what I call my landing strip.
Okay.
Anywho's, fence and deck maintenance. I do this once a year. Give it a pressure wash. Make sure that there's no split panels. If they are, replace them. You got to make sure, especially if you've got dogs, that there's no splinters of wood sticking up. That's huge too. Screws loosen, come out when it's weathered in the heat, and then in the winter. So what I like to do is I give it a nice pressure wash. I go around, tighten any screws that need to be tightened, and any of the split planks that the dogs can hurt their feet on or us, then I do replace them. Then I give it a nice stain. I wash it and then I give it a nice stain. And I, unfortunately, with the deck, because it gets so weather beaten, I got to do that once a year. Some people can get away with doing it once every couple of years, but I got to do it once a year. So
you've got two large dogs too, and the nails going back and forth across the deck and running and chasing the ball and stuff like that.
Yeah, big time. Yeah. So I got to do it once a year, but most people get away with, it still looks good after a year. So maybe once every 2 years, just give that a nice treat. It keeps the wood fresh. It protects the wood, so it will put years of life on your deck.
If you do have a dog too, like I do, like a little dog, make sure the fence is, the ground hasn't, there's no water pooling or anything like that around the deck,
Right, where
or
it's sunk.
nor new holes or sunken in ground
Yeah.
that the dog can kind of sneak over. Even big dogs are able to sneak their way under the fence sometimes. So, yeah, those are our most important 15 of them. 15 of the most important spring maintenance tasks to put on your checklist. As I said, we're going to have a checklist, a PDF checklist that I'm going to throw in the comments, and you can click on the link. It'll probably go to a Google Doc that you can save, print off, and keep for yourself to have a wander around the house, indoors and outdoors, and check all of these things off of your list. We've got a little game here that we're going to play today, and we're going to test this out, see how it goes. We don't have a name for it, so maybe if you're watching and you can come up with a name, that'd be cool. Help us out with a little name for this. The game is, we have some lyrics from a song and a couple of clues, and each of us has to guess what the song is. So this is guess the song based on these 3 clues. All right. You want to start or you want me to start?
You go. Let's get warmed up. You start. Go on then. I'm on
First
it.
one.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with the lyrics.
Yeah.
And that's going to be my clue number 1. So here's the lyrics. Now can you bounce with me? Bounce with me. Bounce with me. Kenya, bounce with me.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Can you bounce with me?
I'm going to give you a clue. Okay.
Go on then. Give me the first clue.
So this song was used in a very iconic scene in a movie with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, Rush Hour. And it's the famous head movement scene.
Oh.
Who sings?
I know the movie. Song? Alex, I'm going to have to take another clue.
Another clue. This is a New York artist. I'll give you a rapper. New York rapper who's self-proclaimed made the Yankees hat famous. That's my last clue. He made the Yankees hat more famous than the Yankees can. New York rapper.
I can hear the song in my head. I don't know.
Who's the most famous rapper out of New York? Think of the Alicia Keys song that he did. New York. I can't sing, so I'm not going to sing it.
I don't know. This game's not going so fucking well.
I didn't want to pick a new rapper because I didn't think you'd get it.
I don't listen to rap.
He's been around forever.
All right, I'll take a stab in the dark.
And you'll probably get it. He's married to Beyonce.
Oh my God, that walrus. Jay-Z.
Still don't know his name. There you go, Jay-Z. The song is Can I Get Her?
I wouldn't have known that unless you didn't give me that fourth clue, married to Beyonce.
I wanted to leave that out because that was just way too obvious.
I know, but I wouldn't have known that. So that's a point to you.
You probably won't know the second one.
I wouldn't have got that. Right. I'm giving you one.
All right. Hit me.
Right. Lyrics. Trouble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition.
It reminds me of the Beatles song.
This came out in 1980. Stumble out of bed and stumble to the kitchen. Pour myself a cup of ambition.
Give me another clue.
Not so fucking easy, is it?
No, it's not.
Clue number 2. The movie was about a boss that took advantage of his female staff.
I don't even know what the movie is.
Okay. Do you want another
When's the
clue?
movie from? How old's the movie?
1980.
So the movie's from 1980. The song is from 1980.
Yeah. And I'll give you another clue. The actress in the movie also sings the song. So the singer in the
9
movie.
to 5.
And the other clue was going to be she's got massive rockets.
Yeah, Dolly Parton. I don't know what the name of the song is. So.
You just said it.
9 to 5 is the name of the song.
9 to 5.
9 to 5. Is that what the name of the song is?
Yeah.
Oh,
Right. So you got that.
I guess I did.
Yeah. Okay. So
I
you
did.
got 1. I got 0. Right. Next one.
That's a
Hit me
pretty
with it.
easy
Let's
one.
go.
I don't know why. You went way too easy with that one. Number 2 on my list.
Go on then.
The lyrics. Song was released in 1992.
Oh.
Lyrics. I think I heard a shot. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Okay. Now where are you getting these from?
That's the chorus of the song.
I think I heard a shot. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Once I say the movie, you'll know the song. The end credits scene song in The Matrix.
I think I heard a shot. Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi. Come on. I don't know. You're going to have to give me another one.
The guitarist went on to form another very iconic band called Audio Slave. Rage Against the Machine.
Come on.
The song is called Wake Up.
Oh, for fuck.
You gave up? Is that what it is? You just gave up on this game. So you turned yourself off.
Okay. Who was that? Rage Against the Machine?
Against the Machine. Very well-known band.
No, don't know it. Right, my second one. Here's the lines.
Mm-hmm.
I'm shipping out to Boston. I'm shipping out to find my leg.
That's that Boston band, isn't it?
Oh, might be.
The movie it's from is the movie with Ben Affleck and Jeremy Renner, The Town. Nope. It's in that. No? It's not in that movie?
Nope. I'll give you another clue.
Okay.
One of the lines in it is, I smell a rat.
Yeah. Okay. So it is in that movie too. It's
is
in
it?
The Departed. It's
yeah.
in The Departed.
Yeah.
That's it. I can't think of the name of the group. I can't remember the name of the group.
The Dropkick Murphys.
Dropkick Murphys. That's it. They're an Irish band, Scottish band.
I think Irish. I think you should get a half a point for that.
Half a point, yeah.
Because you did know who it was.
Yeah. Okay. Next one. Lyrics. You might get this right off the lyrics. Cruised into a bar on the shore. Her picture graced the grime on the door.
Is it an Eagles song? Say the lyrics again.
Cruised into a bar on the shore. This relates to a real life experience this person had. Cruised into a bar on the shore. Her picture graced the grime on the floor.
Alex, I'm going to have to go with another clue, the Daily Double.
Okay, so here's where the song came from. One night in a bar, this group went into the bar. The singer mistook the Motley Crue's lead singer, Vince Neil, for a blonde woman. This gave him the idea for the song.
Okay, what's the lyrics again?
It was released in 1987, so this is right up your alley.
So it's a Motley Crue song.
No, it's not a Crue song. He mistook the Motley Crue's singer, Vince Neil, for a woman.
Oh, okay.
Cruised into a bar on the shore. Her picture graced the grime on the floor. I'll give you one more clue. The movie that it's in.
Go on then.
Maybe this will help you. It was in the 1993 comedy film Mrs. Doubtfire, which is very appropriate for the name of this song.
You know what sucks is this game was my idea because I thought I'd be good at it, and I'm just sucking at it.
Think about it. It's a guy who thought another guy looked like a woman.
Right.
So he wrote a song about it.
Right.
What would you call that song if you wrote a song about a guy that looks like a woman? Guy looks like a woman.
I don't know.
How do you not know this? I thought you would have got this right off the bat. Aerosmith. Dude look like a lady.
Oh.
Remind me never to go on a game show with you where we gotta guess songs.
Sinful. Bad. I'm not doing very well. Right. Here's my next one.
Okay.
Here's the lyrics. Thinking of you's working up an appetite, looking for a little afternoon delight.
Let me get the rest of the lyrics. I used to know this because of Anchorman. They sing it in that. It's Afternoon Delight is the song.
Yeah.
I don't know who sings.
That's kind of easy.
Yeah, it was very easy.
See, I'm giving you good ones.
It was super easy. I'm giving you ones that I would think you would know. Aerosmith? You don't know who Aerosmith is?
Of course I know who Aerosmith is, but your clues are wank.
What do you mean they're wank? I basically spelled out the song for you. He thought a guy looked like a woman, so he made a song about it. Dude looked like a lady.
I know the songs. I don't know where they get their fucking inspiration from to write them.
Well, the inspiration was his experience, and it's basically him thinking a guy looked like a woman.
Who sings my song?
I don't know who sings it. I just know the song. I don't think even if I would know who this sings it.
I didn't know either, to be honest.
Oh.
Starland Vocal Band. So you only get half a point for that because it was Anchorman that I picked the movie.
Yeah,
so you'll get half a point for that.
All right, but I did get the song Afternoon Delight. I didn't get the.
So that's why I'm giving you half a point. Right.
Okay. Right. My next one.
Oh, fuck.
Lyrics. Please allow me to introduce myself. I'm a man of wealth and taste.
That's the Rolling Stones.
Wow. There you go. What's the song? You want me to give you the other clues anyways?
Introduce myself. Woo-hoo. Devil.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It's in the movie with Will Smith and Margot Robbie, Focus.
Never seen it.
And the woo-woos, there's 124 uses of the Mandarin word for 5.
Devil, not devil in disguise. Devil.
You're on the right track for sure.
I know it's the Rolling Stones and I know it's devil.
You're right. It's sympathy for the devil.
Sympathy for the devil. Yeah.
Let me look up. I didn't put down when that song came out.
Well, way earlier than the movie.
Yeah, for sure. but I want to. Okay, 1968.
I
Grandma,
I wasn't even
how
born.
do how do you know that song, but you don't know Aerosmith, where you were rocking to your hairband
I
stuff?
wasn't even born because I knew the lyrics. And if you would have gave me Aerosmith with different lyrics, I would have got it.
If I would have said "Dude Looked Like a Lady,"
Yeah. I don't
that's
know
the name of the
exactly who it
song. I would
was.
have gave it away.
Okay.
That's the opening lyrics to the song, I think, too, for that Aerosmith song.
Right. Here's my next one.
Yeah.
Here's the lyrics. Don't come hanging around my door. I don't want to see your face no more. What are you laughing at?
It's just like you gave like the most the easiest line of the song. I didn't pick the easiest lines. I picked a little more obscure lines out of songs.
Yeah, you see, I'm helping you out.
Go
on then. What's the
trying
song?
to think of who's singing, what the song is. It's I can think of the Lenny Kravitz version of it, American Woman.
He's not the original.
I know, but I don't know who sings the original off the top of my head.
Do you know what movie I took it out of?
No.
It's been in a lot of movies.
It's been in a lot of movies, yeah.
The movie I had in mind was Austin Powers, The Spy That Shagged Me.
Who sings the original song? I don't know who sings the original song.
Guess Who?
The Guess Who, American Woman. Okay. Yeah, that's right. I should have known that.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to give you any points for that one.
I named the song.
You're supposed to get the artist.
Name the song. All right. Last one for me. You should be able to get this one because this is from your time frame. Seeing as 1968, you got the Rolling
I think
Stone
you need
one.
to. I think you need to gear down, Big Rig.
This one's a little earlier, 3 years earlier. You probably get it because this is right up your alley. They say our love won't pay the rent before it's earned. Our money's all been spent. They say our love won't pay the rent before it's earned. Our money's all been spent.
They say our love won't pay the rent.
Yep.
Before it's earned, our money's all been spent.
Now, the movie I chose for this one was Groundhog Day. It's the song that's playing on the radio.
I Got You, Babe, by Sonny and Cher.
Correct. You got one. 1965 one you got.
How sad is that?
Brutal.
Right. Here's my last one for you.
Okay.
It came out in 1985.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the lyrics. Super highways, coast to coast. Easy to get anywhere.
That's it.
That's all you're getting. Fuck you.
Super highways goes, I don't know, Billy Idol.
No.
Sting.
No. Now you're just being daft.
Give me some clues.
Okay. First clue, it's from a boxing movie.
From 1985, Rocky.
Which one?
When the first one come out, 70 something. So Rocky 3 maybe.
I'm going to give you another clue. Last clue. There's a line in it, and it goes like this.
Here we go.
I must break you.
If he dies, he dies. What's the song? Eye of the Tiger?
No. I'll give you another one. Well, what movie is it? Give me the movie.
Rocky 3.
No, it's 4, you muppet.
Rocky 4?
Rocket. I just gave you the famous line out of it with Dolph Lundgren.
It's not Rocky 4. What's Rocky 3? When does the Russian come? I thought the Russian was
Rocky 4. Rocky 3 is with Mr. T.
Ah, that's right.
Um,
What's the one with Hogan? Hulk Hogan.
Oh, 2 or 3. I don't know.
I'll be surprised if you can tell me what Hulk Hogan's name is. In
His
Rocky.
real name?
No, in the movie. What's his name in the movie?
I'd be surprised if I fucking knew it. I don't know.
Thunder Lips.
Well, get out. That used to be my nickname.
I thought it was Thunder Thighs.
Thunder Cunt. Oh, it's my
I'm not sure what
nickname.
the song is, to be honest with you. I don't know.
It was sang by James Brown.
Oh, that's too old for me.
Living in America.
James Brown sang that song?
Yeah, living in America.
Isn't that like an Eddie Murphy movie? Coming to America?
No, it's a James Brown song. Living
Was that
America.
in that movie too?
No. Stop trying to make excuses as to why you didn't get the joke.
I didn't get it. I don't know it.
The song, not the joke.
I wasn't born in 1942 like you. The only songs you can get are songs from the 60s. Not the 90s when you were like at your full tilt, just rocking it.
Yeah.
With your hairband music. Couldn't even get an Aerosmith song. Brutal, by the way. Anyways, who won that? I see you sneaking that in there.
You did.
Well, you got the last couple, so you got the Rolling Stones, you got Sonny and Cher.
I got 2. You got like 3.5.
2 for 5 isn't bad.
Ugh.
All right. Well, that concludes our show for the day. Don't forget to, again, like us, subscribe. We can use a subscribe. Click the bell icon thingy.
Yeah, I feel sorry for us. Please subscribe.
Please. That sounds really lame. Yeah, check us out on Spotify as well. You can listen there on your way to or from work. Have a good rest of the week. Ciao.
Bye.